Well, good evening and welcome to Christ Community Church's Living Room Devotions. We have been studying this week the names of God, and it's been a really good and rich study. So I wonder tonight, how are you feeling about things? How are you feeling about the future? You know, one of the issues that we have as we consider maybe the virus, what's going to happen? What's going to happen next week, next month, next year? It just seems all so unclear, doesn't it? Perhaps you're struggling in a relationship. Where's this relationship going? Maybe you're looking at your employment, retirement. Maybe you're even sick and you're wondering, am I ever going to get better? You know, it's difficult for us to look forward, isn't it? We can't see the future. We can't even see the present very clearly, can we? We were not created to do that. Yet, there is a God. There is a God who does see, and His name is El Roi. As we turn to Genesis chapter 16 tonight, we read of a woman named Hagar. Now, Hagar was the maidservant of Sarai. Sarai was the wife of Abram. Abram had been promised to be the father of a great nation, so he expected to have a son, but Sarai was barren. Sarai came up with a plan. I will give Hagar to my husband Abram, and maybe she will conceive and have the son promised by Elohim. Well, that was a huge mistake. As soon as Hagar conceived, Sarai grew jealous. She acted in hatred and cruelty towards Sarai. She even blamed her husband Abram and said, "You are the reason for this." Abram responded, "Do with her as you wish." Well, she did. She grew even more cruel and treated her more harshly. And so at one point we see Hagar decided that she would run away. And she did. She ran away desperate. She ran away fearfully. She ran away confused. She was hurt. She was alone, a woman alone in the wilderness. But someone was watching her. Someone went after her. In verse 7, we see that the angel of the Lord found her. Let's look at verse 8 and read. And he said, "Hagar, servant of Sarai, where have you come from and where are you going?" She said, "I am fleeing from my mistress Sarai." The angel of the Lord said to her, "Return to your mistress and submit to her." The angel of the Lord also said to her, "I will surely multiply your offspring so that they cannot be numbered for multitude." And the angel of the Lord said to her, "Behold, you are pregnant, and you shall bear a son. You shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has listened to your affliction. He shall be a wild donkey of a man, his hand against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he shall dwell over against all his kinsmen." And so as we look at this text, what did God see here? If you look down here, it's clear that He sees the foolishness of Sarai and Abram. He sees the jealousy and cruelty of Sarai. He sees the hurt and the rejection, the desperation, the confusion of Hagar. He sees her alone. He even sees into her womb. He sees her son. More than that, He sees her son Ishmael in his future, who he is, his heart, his ways. So let's look back at chapter 16, verse 13, and just see how Hagar responds. So she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her, "You are a God of seeing." For she said, "Truly here I have seen him who looks after me." So here in this passage, Hagar reveals one of the great names of God. She's the only person I know in the Old Testament does this. She says, "You are the God who sees, El Roi." So how does El Roi find you this evening? What does He see in your situation? What are your troubles? What are your struggles? What is your pain? What is your fear? What is that situation that you have that is so impossible? What does El Roi see in your heart? Throughout the scriptures, God is revealed as a God who sees. He not only sees, but He pays attention. He not only pays attention, but He's concerned and He cares. When we see Him for who He is, we experience the presence of God. We experience His protection, His provision. For, as Hagar says, He looks after us. As we come to a conclusion of the study of the names of our great God, we have looked at many of His amazing and wonderful names. Not all of them. There's plenty more to explore. But the ones we have looked at have been Elohim, Yahweh, El Shaddai, El Elyon, and tonight we looked at the God who sees, El Roi. We have seen overall that our God is almighty. He is all-powerful. He is the God of the covenants. He is the God of redemption, the one who has saved us from our sins. He sent His Son, Jesus, the wonderful Counselor, mighty God, the Prince of Peace, to redeem us from our sins, to go to the cross that we might have everlasting life. And so with those names of God in mind, especially tonight's study on the God who sees, I want to leave you with this verse from Isaiah, Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10, for you to think about and meditate on. Hear the word of the Lord. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And so with that, I bid you good evening, and I pray that you would have a wonderful Saturday, and we look forward to seeing you as we gather together Sunday morning for worship.